Good morning, YouTubers and BMW enthusiasts. Today we are going to be looking at the ARM Motorsports Relocated Inlets kit. Now, when you get relocated inlets, you have to relocate your expansion tank to over there. You got to understand that all the 335s, they have a sort of a symmetrical design. So you can take the stock expansion tank on the 335i and you can put it here. However, if you do that, then up on the hood lining you will see that the cap on the stock expansion tank will bang up on the hood. So, and it just wasn't fitting exact. I mean, it'll fit, but it's gonna be smushed, and that's just not a good policy. So what I did was I took the 335 diesel expansion tank and installed it, and also bought the hose that comes with it, which is much cleaner than the reusing the 335 gasoline version of the expansion tank. That's a whole lot of cutting, and I just didn't need all the clamps and stuff like that, just taking up visual space and just polluting the engine look. So that's why I went with the 335i diesel expansion tank to go along with the ARM Motorsports. Now back to the ARM Motorsports Relocated Inlets kit. Oh, by the way, if you choose to do this, you got to understand that you're going to have to buy a VRSF charge pipe, which is what this is. Because there are a couple other charge pipes that will fit this configuration, but like ER, which I love, I had to sell my ER charge pipe. Very high quality unit. To me, this VRSF charge pipe is a downgrade, but I'm kind of stuck with it because it's the only charge pipe that will fit this 335 diesel expansion tank. Like I say, there are, I guess, a couple other brands. I can't think of them right off in my head, but ER is not one of them. So, anyways, you're gonna have to get this charge pipe that will fit this configuration. Otherwise, it's just not gonna work. So let's talk about the pros and cons of this ARM Motorsports relocated inlets. Performance-wise, I did not notice any difference between the relocated inlets versus the silicon stock location inlets from MMP or VRSF. They were all 2-inch diameter inlets. The noise level is the same, but dyno could not tell any difference. The installation of this kit is horrendous. I mean, if I were you, I would not skimp out. I would just pay a shop that knows how to do this. Make sure they've done this before, because you know, it is a very difficult install, especially for the rear turbo. The rear turbo is the issue. It's the way the piping is, and like there's two opposite directions fighting each other when you're trying to put the rear inlet on. And I mean, it took me a couple of days to put it on in a satisfactory way and make sure that it would not pop off. But yeah, the installation is the biggest negative that if you're going to do it yourself, I'm going to warn you to reconsider, because it's super hard. And, you know, I know how to work on cars, so... but anyways, I think it looks okay. It comes with a plate that covers this, to presumably to protect the air from radiant heat from here. But when, you know, I've got this plate here that redirects the air, and I'm not using the heat shield that comes on here because, you know, the heat shield would interrupt the cool air. So that's why I just left it off. But yeah, it does come with a heat shield on top. Now, if you notice, there's some fuzziness. That's because I put on some self-sticking, I guess, temperature shielding sticker on here. Don't know what it's called, thermal adhesive, just to try to reduce the heat from the turbos and the manifold. But the kit does come with a solenoid mounting plate, and also you can't see it here, but there's a manifold heat shield way deep down in here that separates the heat. It prevents the heat coming from the manifold from the turbos to coming up here. And I gotta say, it works pretty well. After driving like a maniac, I can open up the hood and put my hand here, and you do not feel the heat coming up. I mean, it's pretty well designed. What I also did additionally was I put the thermal adhesive on the manifold heat shield itself, just to try to double it up on the radiant heat prevention. And also I taped the actual silicone all the way down, and here where it's exposed to the directly in line of sight of the manifold. All in all, I don't notice any increase in internal air temperatures through logging and things like that. No different than stock. I don't know if that's any of the adhesive, the thermal adhesive helped, or it's a combination of that and the manifold cover and the redirecting air duct that I got from Turner. It uses 2 individual cones. They're okay looking. I wish they came in blue. That's my request. But the thing that I note about the connections here is that the cone diameter of the rubber that connects to the receptacle is a little bit bigger than the aluminum receptacle itself. So you have to be careful when you put it on and tighten it that the rubber is not going to slip off. You got to make sure that it's straight on and tighten up. And sometimes if you tighten it too much, it'll go bloop, it'll pop right off. So you got to be careful of that, because the diameter of the rubber is a bit bigger than the receptacle ring. And also, I think they could use a longer neck on the receptacle ring just to prevent that from happening. So that's something else that ARM Motorsports might want to consider in the future, is making this neck and this neck a little bit longer so that it stays on more securely, and it's more easy to install without slippage, the danger of slipping. All in all, I think I'm pretty satisfied with the purchase, and it does make working on the car a lot easier, because it cleans up the bay over on the driver's side. We've got the rear inlet has the connections for the PCV heater device here that usually is on the driver's side in the back, and it recirculates the crankcase output oil vapors in here, and it injects it into the rear inlet to be burned into turbo. So that's pretty much, other than the installation issue, I think it's a very good value for what it does. There are other kits that are way more expensive, I would recommend this. And would I do it again? And yeah, I would buy it again. And if I had the money, I would buy it and have somebody else install it. But if not, I probably spend another couple of days installing another kit, But yeah, I used to be a non-believer, and I thought this was silly, but it actually has other benefits that are not related to air intake or airflow and stuff, because really I don't notice any performance gains. But just for the convenience of being able to work on my engine bay, yes, I would recommend it. And there is no drawback in terms of performance. There's no, oh my God, my temperatures, air intake temperatures are too high. I mean, if you set it up the right way with the air duct and I guess more heat tape, I think you'll be fine, because there won't be any issues.